Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to look at the PN Racing aluminum motor mount for the SCX24. And initially this thing kind of irritated me because the way they describe it, it sounds like you just get a bolt it right in, it's no problem at all. And there's a little problem with it. It doesn't go in very easy, and it's nothing that can't be solved though. Once it's in, it's a fantastic mount though. It does a lot of things. It first of all provides a forward mount for the PN70 that actually fits in the car, and they tip the motor vertically so the flat sides are vertical, and that's pretty cool. That forward mount gives the front tires a lot more of a planted feel. And another thing it does is it draws heat out of the motor. It's a giant heat sink because there's so much aluminum there, and it's very lightweight. I should have weighed it before I installed it, but I didn't. Sorry about that. And I have a FuryTech Lizard with the Bluetooth. Right now I'm still trying to tune the ESC, and this motor has a massive amount of torque. It's fantastic for that. It doesn't quite have the smooth startup of the Surpass, but it may be worth it still because it's a lot lighter than the Surpass by about 10 grams, and you can forward mount it instead of reverse mount it. The Surpass, I'll show you, it sits quite a bit farther back, but I'll show you that in a different video. You've already seen it. But one of the main things I had to do to get the drive shaft clearance, there was an issue in here where you saw before, where I couldn't quite get the drive shaft to not hit the motor because they're so close together. That was easily solved. And the other more serious issue that I found was as this suspension could not fully compress before, and that bothered me a lot. I don't like a suspension that doesn't have free movement, but it does now. It fully compresses, nothing hits. And what I had to do to get it mounted, this was for people just not wanting to watch a half-hour video of how I installed it. I basically turned the 4-link suspension into a 3-link, and I know there's a lot of people that would really have a problem with that, but this is the one that came out of the car, and essentially I just cut that much of it off and installed it in the car so that the missing link goes on the motor side, and now there's nothing to interfere with the travel of the suspension, and I love that. Another thing that I did was, since we've got such a forward CG, I kept my low mount battery custom built battery mount there, and I put the rear diff cover back on. I've also converted this back to a stock shock from being a kinetic, and added a flex blade because I did want just that little bit of extra movement. Believe it or not, that's kind of the sweet spot for articulation. It still has a bit, but it's not hyper like it was, and you can see the difference. I left this side here because having a kinetic shock here doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect torque roll from high power settings while climbing, and it doesn't affect the torque rise while climbing either, because it's all equal and opposite reaction. The drive shaft turning towards this will cause this to raise, and just physics. This side I left long because this one can reach down and get my truck over peaks and things like that when the frame might be bottomed out. At least I got one wheel that can reach down and push, and I feel like that's a really good solution. It keeps the center of gravity in check and doesn't affect anything else as far as ride goes. So I feel like I've got a really good truck here now, and we'll just do some testing and just show you what it can do on the course. We'll do that. We'll do the course last, but right now I'll just show you some angles. This is to show you what I'm going to use today. It's going to be a clipboard, which is a solid flat plane surface, and I'm going to basically tape a piece of cloth onto it, clip it down so that it can't move and affect the test. And I do that because I want to be able to test the capability of the chassis with the new motor mount, not the grip of the tires. I've got 58 degrees incline. If I can keep it rolling, it can do a 58-degree climb. And it did that until it hit up here on the metal, but you saw that it could do 58 degrees, and that's pretty good. It can hang even higher than that. If I start tipping this, I'm pretty sure it can hang over 60. Let's find out. Yep. 59. Right. 59 to 60 is where it dumped it, but that's really good to be able to actually climb at the limit that it can hang. 58 degrees is really good for a car with Patagonias. If I'd put the Enduro 24 tires on it, I'll bet I could get another degree or two out of it. I could probably even get maybe 61. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it at the end of the video. But what I'm going to do next is figure out what the side hilling and downhilling angle is. How I'm going to do this is just lean the board until it naturally falls over. 46 degrees, it's starting to tip a little bit. .46, and that was with the motor on the low side. Let's try the motor on the high side. Take it right into the 40s because we know it can do that. The left rear tire is starting to lift. .45 degrees, so not much different. That says that the balance that I've tried to work out on this motor to ESC is pretty good. Only thing left to do is to find out where it falls over forwards. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, good. Okay, I've got the flex blade topped out. Hadn't expected that, but the left rear is off the ground, and now the kinetic shock is starting to top out. I think if I would put a flex blade on the other side, pretty sure I could get a little more downhilling because it would counterweight the body a bit. .49 degrees. That's not a bad test. I'll put the video together, and I may, just for fun, throw Enduro 24 tires on it just to see what it can do. These are the 3 tires that we've tested in the video today. I think we did the Mudslingers, but I know that this the Mofo RC with these giant tires can still pull a 56-degree climb, and that's pretty incredible for something with tires that big. If we would go over to the small tires that are currently on the Deadbolt, it would probably do as well or better than the Deadbolt does. But I've got a Patagonia in the middle just to show you the size stair step. We've gone from the middle tire to the small tire in this video. I could show you how this one does too, but it's not part. We'll do it later. I know it. I know it does 58 degrees, but now it's time to go over and test out the deadbolt with the small tire. I have no idea if this can do it or not, but 60 degrees has always been one of my goals, so went ahead and went with 60. We'll try it out, see what happens. It's actually climbing at 60, and the tires are slipping. It's got more in it. That's a 60-degree climb deadbolt with Enduro 24 tires. Before and after, well, I got 60 degrees right there. So to wrap this video up, I think the new PN Racing aluminum mount is really good. If you're planning on running a PN70, this is the best mount you can put in your truck, and I totally believe that. You do have to make some room for it, or accept the fact that you're not going to have as much suspension travel. You will still be able to think you can get full compression by pushing on your suspension and seeing that the shock goes all the way down, but what is probably going to be happening is it's hitting the motor and the link is bending. Because I could get it to do that, but under its own weight it can't bend the link, so it would never go to full compression like that. Do you need to? Probably not, but when I build something, I want it to work full range and the way it should be. You might argue that missing a third link isn't the way it should be, and I'd say you're right, but functionally it's the way it should be. It works, and it doesn't miss that third link. So it is a good upgrade, and it just took a little bit of figuring out, and I just leave this video with a little bit of crawling at the end. Next video I'll show you how to speed up things if you want to watch a video faster. I know some people talked about my last video was 30 minutes long, and it needed to be to document all the things I was facing. The previous one was too, and without that documentation, what I say has no weight unless you've actually seen it for yourself and know where I'm getting that data from. So here's a little bit of crawling video to round this one out. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later.